The legend of the magical lake is a Bolivian story. Once upon a time, on the vast plateau of Bolivia, there was a tranquil lake. The lake is Wolf Lake. It was a sacred place for the surrounding villagers. The water of the lake was clear, blue like the sky, and the scenery was beautiful. However, the villagers avoided approaching the lake. It was because there was a mysterious legend related to the lake. According to legend, in Wolf Lake there is Willa. It was said that a magical spirit lived there. Willa was said to be the guardian of the lake, protecting its waters and testing anyone who came close. However, no one had ever seen Willa, and the legend was only being told. One day, a young man from the village, Marco, lived near the lake. Marco was curious and was always captivated by the beautiful views of the lake. He wanted to touch the lake one day, to see if the legend of Willa really existed. One night, on a quiet moonlit night, Marco made up his mind and headed for the lake. I decided to have the courage to enter the place where the villagers were afraid. When he reached the shore of the lake, Marco felt a deep sense of tranquility. The surface of the lake was as calm as a mirror, reflecting the moonlight. As he approached, the water trembled slightly, as if a lake were speaking to him. Suddenly, a dim light appeared from the center of the lake. It was the figure of Willa, dressed in her beautiful blue robe, like a spirit with transparent feathers. Willa spoke to Marco in a low voice. "Brave, why are you here? Will you be able to endure that test?" Marco was surprised but answered, "I just wanted to be fascinated by the beauty and legend of this lake, and see if Willa really exists." Willa smiled. The smile was both soft and powerful. "Then prepare to be tested, and if you pass all 3 tests, I will grant you the magic of the lake. But if you fail even one thing, the waters of this lake will reject you forever." Marco nodded firmly. He was determined to face trials without fear. The first test was the test of courage. Willa held her hand on the surface of the lake, and suddenly the water rushed towards Marco in a huge wave. Marco didn't go against the waves, he just stared at the surface of the water silently. He calmed down and sensed the beauty in the waves, which helped him pass the test safely. The next test is the wisdom test. It was. Willa threw an ancient mystery at Marco. It was said that if the mystery was not solved, the water of the lake would freeze and no one would benefit from it. Marco thought a lot and thought again and again about finding the answer. In the end, the answer was recognized as correct and I was able to pass the wisdom test. The last test is the goodness test. It was. Willa gave Marco the news that the animals living around the lake were in trouble. Marco acted immediately to help the animals and contacted those in need. His kindness was conveyed and the test was safely resolved. After passing all the tests, Marco was endowed with magical powers by Willa. Said Willa, "I saw your bravery, wisdom, and kindness. Now you will be the one who wields the power of this lake. The waters of the lake will bless you in the future and give you strength in difficult times." Later, Marco returned to the village and began using the magical powers he received to help the villagers. The lake's water gave them the power to farm, and the villagers were able to live a prosperous life again. The villagers respected Marco and believed in the legend of Willa again. And even now, Lake Wolf retains its tranquil beauty and the legend is passed down. The magical lake continues to bless those who have courage, wisdom, and goodness. That's all.